As in, fundamentally, they feel like a World War I army pitted up against a fully fledged World War II German army. It's straight up not even a fair fight for these poor guys. They might as well raise the white flag. Retreat, run for the hills. The British can only engage in long-range fights on El Alamein, where the MG42 is far enough away to not be able to shoot accurately. On Watchtower Strongpoint, the British needs those valleys, those long sidelines, to have any chance of repelling the Germans, because the Germans are not in a capacity to fight the dug-in British force. But the moment the Germans close that gap, there's no choice but to raise the white flag and have a full-on retreat, making them fundamentally feel like a World War I army. As the most effective gun is a 5-round bolt-action rifle. The damn tragedy of this whole situation is that the British, with some subtle changes to their loadouts and guns, can actually be in a capacity to fight the Germans, because at the moment their loadouts are neither historically accurate nor balanced. The biggest issue for the British is that they cannot fire enough bullets down range in a sufficient manner. So using my vast intellect, I've created some suggestions. First suggestion. Switch the Lee Enfield No. 4 with the P14. This gives the British a standard issue bolt-action rifle, with enough bullets to supplement the lack of a semi-automatic rifle. Second suggestion. Make the Lee Enfield No. 4 bolt recycle way faster to again bring it up to its real-life capabilities and close that gap again. Third suggestion. The Bren needs its bipod ASAP, because at the moment the Lewis gun does not cut it due to its 40-ish mag size, and that's the breadth the British have. By giving the Bren a bipod, it gives the British 3 potential MGs in a squad to fight accurately with the Germans, giving the MG42 a run for its money. Fourth suggestion. Dramatically reduce the ADS standing recoil of the Bren. It's just too severe. You end up looking at the sky 3 bullets in, when you go against the STG-44, and that thing barely has any recoil. It doesn't seem fair for these guys. That's it. The British are fixed. They had a chance. And it's weird to see our colonising friends over here so poorly dressed. Where are our beloved shorts? As an Australian, mate, I'm in shorts right now in this winter. Where are they for the desert? It's just a bit strange to see them lacking any drip when our commie friends have a lot of choice, with the sickest cape ever for the battlefield. I cry to sleep sometimes. I actually don't play enough to even have a chance to get that cape. Though I think there is a reason for this. So in the 2022 console roadmap that Black Matter released, the British were just stated to be the British, if that makes sense. Then a couple months later, the CEO of Black Matter stated that it will be a Commonwealth expansion, not just a British expansion. And that terminology was used throughout the year, up until the Team 17 roadmap reveal when it went back to Britain a couple months ago. Now Black Matter were in the business of making money. This theory might be a bit far-fetched, but not as far-fetched as that Doomcock mask dude with the, kind of weird and headache-inducing voice.
Out since 2017.
They were simply looking at
I reckon that Black Matter only created one British outfit, the one we have. And then if you paid another $10, $5, $11, you can buy an Australian outfit, an Indian outfit, a Canadian outfit, which adheres to the objective of the CEO stated with adding more premium content to the game, but doesn't align with the strategic aims of Team 17. You know, talking about historical accuracy, having the correct loadouts, outfits, weapons on each map, probably resulting in these being scrapped, or adding to their own respective factions, if that ever happens. Because we're seeing that with Team 17 and Poles and Finland, that they're willing to create smaller factions. So they can add an Australian one, cross over a lot of those common, British weapons, and add their, SMG they used in the war. But there is something that cannot be excused: the sprint speed change. And look, I was personally very happy with the previous sprint speed, even though some people weren't. Maybe I just have weird ideas, like I enjoy Remagen, Kursk, and Purple Heart Lane. But I like the slowness and almost the clunkiness of it in a way. I was using the new prone locomotion feature, and unfortunately, whilst I thought it would be awesome, I came out feeling the opposite way. It just feels too smooth in a way, your guy almost moves way more forward. And people say, oh, Team 17's not listening to the community. this whole sprint speed change comes from them listening to community. As the amount of times I've heard this game being called a walking simulator is borderline ridiculous. And it's like, I think like those people, because now people say, oh, get good with like the new sprint speed change and like shooting people in fields and stuff. But it's like, shooting's not really even a core mechanic of this game. Outpost, garrisons, communication, I'd say the core mechanics of the game. And if you are doing a walk, if it does feel like a walking simulator to you, then you're not really even engaging in the core mechanics of the game. If that makes any sense. Like, you're not building outposts, you're not building garrisons, you're not communicating with the team to do an effective flank or something like that. So it's like, why would you listen to people that aren't even engaging with the game with the way it was designed? And like, I didn't even come to Hell Let Loose to zigzag fields. And whilst it is not as fast as some people exaggerated, like I saw this guy stating that he was running as fast as Usain Bolt past a transport truck. Like, relax champ, it's not that fast, but it is not a good change regardless. It just results in people sprinting everywhere. And considering I'm not a caffeined up 13-year-old anymore, I just can't hit these people. I mean, I closed the game and cried throughout the day because of this fact. I can't believe it. And if I even wanted that gameplay, I'd play... Look, I played too much of that one. Didn't play that one. I think this one got kind of ruined a couple months after release. Oh, that one's a controversial one. Look, I think it's a bit overrated by its supporters, but a bit underrated by its haters. Like, it's not as bad. Didn't pick this one up. Not a fan of nostalgia bait. Didn't pick this one up. Not a fan of nostalgia bait. It's a bit too old, this one. I think bizarrely overrated these days for some weird reason. This one was going so strong. I really enjoyed it, but became one of the first casualties of COVID. Brings me to tears. And then, there's so many things to say, but where's its soul? That's the number one thing I have to say. And it's like, I would go to these other games. Well, I guess I don't really like them anymore. But, like, I didn't come to Hell Let Loose to zigzag in a field, and to be honest, I stood in it myself, and I felt gross, because when I was playing Drill with the German G43, I was able just to run through them, quickly pop them off, because they weren't expecting some dude fucking running up the hedgerows at 300 miles an hour, and it's like, they just didn't have a chance against the G43. And then in a Kharkov game I was playing, I had an MP40. I literally ran 100 meters through gunfire, took out 2 outposts, ran north, took out 2 more outposts, just running through houses, just popping people with the MP40, ended up with like 10 kills and 4 outposts down. It's like, I felt gross doing that. Also, like, I'm just too old for it, man. Like, I'm 20 years old, I can't really... I just want to relax, hide in a bush, and pop people off with the bolt action and talk some random stuff with people. So it's a bit odd. And like, I hear that people love it, but guys, once you hit your 20s, forget having an easy time shooting in this game. Or even at all. Like, when I played 2042, the Battlefield one, like, I don't even know who's friend and foe, I'm just shooting everyone. Everyone's getting some bullets, so it's kind of odd. And kind of considering, like, I wouldn't say a shady way they did it prior to release, but the fact that they removed that PTE is a bit concerning. Because it's like, if all this got past your QA team and they were satisfied, I don't know if you really can trust your QA team, to be honest. Because man, those British guns are really bad. So it's just like a bit sad, like the whole update's kind of a bit of a shame, because I was in their corner, I was in Team 17 corner, I was hoping this one could be a slam dunk, but it's just a bit of a shame how it turned out. It's like, I haven't really been playing it in the way the game was designed. I put in a game, and if the squad's not communicating, I loved in the past just kind of getting the chat up with boys, because, and now it's like, oh, the squad's not communicating. Why would I bother, So it's just like, this game's not dead at all. And I think it will come back. Like, I really think Team 17 will come back and give it a once-over. But man, I would love to get inside a meeting of this game in their offices. And look, If you like the update, say why. If you don't, I understand you, man. I feel your pain, but have a good one, guys.